Almost 2 years after its release, the PS5 DualSense Edge Pro controller remains one of the best premium controllers on the market. It's the controller I've consistently chosen over all the others, thanks in part to its weight and solid build quality. While many people complain that it's too heavy, I found that the heft to be a positive aspect, contributing to its premium feel. The weight not only enhances durability, but also provides a more substantial grip, which I personally enjoy during longer gaming sessions. So let's check out how the DualSense Edge has held up over the last 2 years, and if it's still worth getting in 2025. So starting off with the pros. One of the standout features on the DualSense Edge is the mappable back buttons. Despite only having 2, the metal design and curved shape make them a pleasure to use. They are incredibly responsive and ergonomically designed, making accidental presses virtually impossible. The quality of these buttons is unmatched, especially when compared to controllers like the Victrix BFG, which have plastic mappable back buttons. This is why I find the DualSense Edge perfect for competitive gameplay. The mappable back buttons is a feature that makes a big difference. Even though some Pro controllers come with more buttons, the Victrix BFG, which I've also reviewed on this channel, is an excellent Pro controller, especially when it comes to fighting games and beat-em-ups, and that's due to the swappable fight pad. On the other hand, the DualSense Edge offers impressive flexibility with its 2 different back button styles. You have the lever or the half dome. This gives players more customization options, allowing you to choose whichever style feels best for you. Some players even opt to use both button types simultaneously, depending on their playstyle. Additionally, the DualSense Edge has the ability to map almost any button to the rear back buttons, making it versatile across various different game titles, not just FPS. The triggers, with their width, depth, and adjustable 3-level trigger stops, are perfect for any gaming style, whether you're playing first-person shooters or racing games. Adjusting the triggers is incredibly simple. You can choose from 3 different levels, with the lowest setting offering the shortest trigger pull. This allows for instant aiming and shooting, giving you a significant advantage in close combat encounters, especially in Warzone. The high dome thumbsticks that come with the controller are fantastic, as they help reduce thumb fatigue, especially when sprinting in games. Using regular thumbsticks just isn't for me anymore. And honestly, I can't even remember the last time I did. Even back when I owned a PS4, I always used Control Freak attachments for added height and control, and I continue to do the same with the DualSense Edge. Unfortunately, the sticks aren't Hall effect, meaning that they are prone to stick drift, especially if not handled with care. The good news though is that the stick modules are replaceable for around $20 or £20, which is a reasonable fix. Thankfully, after almost 2 years of use, I haven't had to replace mine at all. That said, the white color of the controller has been a point of contention for many. Over time, it can become stained with yellowish marks due to skin oils or other grime, especially if your hands aren't clean during use. Personally, I make it a point not to snack while gaming. I wash my hands before resuming. Frequently wiping down your controller can help minimize discoloration, and as you can see, mine still looks pretty decent 2 years in. If the white color bothers you, companies like Extreme Ray offer customizable parts, including different colored bodies and back buttons, so you can easily change the look of your controller and avoid this issue. I was expecting Sony to release a black version of the DualSense Edge by now, but unfortunately, we're still waiting. Maybe in 2025. We'll see. Battery life is one of the controller's biggest drawbacks, with only 5 hours of use on a full charge. This isn't ideal for gamers who sit far away from their screens, as you'd have to frequently recharge or stay plugged in. For me, however, this hasn't been much of a problem since I game at my desk setup. I prefer keeping the controller plugged in, not just for constant power, but also to minimize latency, which is crucial in fast-paced games like Call of Duty Warzone. Another issue is the controller's center panel, which attracts fingerprints. It can be annoying at first, but over time you get used to it, especially if you game in low light settings like I do, with RGB lights on. You hardly notice it, or it doesn't bother you as much. It's a small trade-off for such a well-built controller. But if that still bothers you, like I said before, Extreme Ray offers solutions for this, so it's an easy fix. If there's one thing that turns people off other than the battery life, it's the price. The DualSense Edge is pricey, and Sony has recently raised the cost by an additional $5, which feels unnecessary. Fortunately, you can find it for $10 or more cheaper on Amazon, which helps ease the sting of the price hike. Links in the description below. The recent added compatibility with PC makes it more versatile too, and the software works well across platforms. The back buttons are simple to assign, and you can create unassigned profiles that can be customized later, offering flexibility for various playstyles. Here's a quick tutorial of how to assign the back buttons and a few customizations that you can carry out on the controller. The guide will break down what the two function buttons do. Basically, when you hold either one of them down, you are presented with the customizable profile settings, where you can map either one of these 4 buttons to a specific profile. Say I have a Warzone profile, which has been mapped to the button X. For me to use this profile, I need to hold down the function button and press X at the same time to activate my Warzone profile. So how do we set this up? Firstly, hold down the function button and the options key at the same time. Here you can create 3 custom assigned profiles to either of these buttons. Select which button you want to map and then name your profile. After that, we can customize the button assignments, stick sensitivity, trigger dead zone, vibration intensity, and trigger effect intensity. So starting with customizing the back buttons, I used X and circle for Warzone, and I can also change and flip any of the buttons I want. There's so much flexibility. And to add to that, I can also disable buttons, which is awesome in some cases. However, there are 4 buttons that you cannot customize, which are the PlayStation button, the touchpad, the options button, and the create button. But they can be disabled. Now I can use this profile when playing Warzone. If I want to use the regular default profile, I just hold FN plus triangle, and it's as easy as that. Just to add to what I mentioned earlier, yes, you can create 3 assigned profiles, but you can make up to 30 profiles in total, which will be kept under the unassigned profiles, which can be added and switched at any time you want. Diving back into the settings, we can adjust the stick sensitivity for the left and right individually. For the sensitivity curve option, there are several to choose from. Just read the information to see which curve will suit your gameplay best and select that. Then you can adjust the curve and dead zone also, which will give you an instant feel of how these changes will affect your stick movement there and then. We can then change the trigger dead zone by tweaking the input range to your preference. So ultimately you can adjust the depth of the triggers. With vibration, I always keep that off when playing first-person shooters, but when playing campaign games, I make sure it's on strong because I want to feel that immersive experience when playing. And lastly, the trigger effect intensity. Overall, the DualSense Edge Pro controller is still one of the top contenders in the Pro controller market, even 2 years later. While it does have its drawbacks, like the steep price, white color prone to stains, and short battery life, the combination of premium features and customizability makes it a worthwhile investment. If you game the way I do with a plugged-in setup and a focus on competitive play, you'll find this controller hard to beat. It's a solid, reliable device with no technical issues after 2 years of use, and in my opinion, it's still the best controller available today. If you want to watch the full review of the DualSense Edge, then click the link in the description below or the end screen at the end of this video. Like and subscribe for more tech and gaming related videos. Comment down below if you're planning to pick up the DualSense Edge or not, or if you already own a Pro controller. Appreciate you all for watching, and take care.
It's not a game, it's a